Video essay questions part 4, I believe, but don't quote me. So this week we discussed about the brain in our anatomy and physiology lab this week. But specifically for this video essay question, I was tasked with picking, I don't know why I put 5 fingers up, because actually 6 ocular nerves and describing their functions and what they are primarily needed for. Keep in mind, of course, I can use the optic or the olfactory because those were no-brainers. Everybody already knows that the optic nerve is used for sight and the olfactory is for smell. No-brainer. But I'm here to talk to you about 6 more that you probably didn't know about. So, nerve number 1 is the oculometer nerve. I know I butchered that pronunciation, but I tried. So, the oculometer nerve has 2 functions actually. It has muscle functions and pupil response. So, in reference to muscle functions, the oculometer nerve provides motor function to at least 4 of the 6 muscles around the eye, which you didn't know that allow for the eyes to move and to focus on objects. So, have you ever noticed when you look up at something, and you look down for a little bit, and you look back up, it takes a hot minute for it to get back into focus? That is thanks to the oculometer nerve, for you to be able to actually see that clearly and not have a whole bunch of fuzzy blurs. Now, in reference to pupil response, it actually is what helps control pupil size as it responds to a specific amount of light. So, which is why if you've ever seen any medical show, Grey's Anatomy, or anything involving EMS, when they shine the flashlight in your eye, your pupil will actually dilate and become smaller. The reason why is because it is trying to respond to the amount of blinding flashlight that is being forced into your eye. Now, on to the next one. We have the abducens nerve. The abducen is what controls eye movement. So, specifically speaking, this is the nerve that controls your ability to be able to look to the side. So, your peripheral view, your peripheral view is controlled by the abducens nerve, and that's how you're able, like right now, through being able to look to the side, I can see that there's a bush outside of my window and my car. There we go. Next is the accessory nerve. The accessory nerve is the motor nerve, so involving motor functions and moving stuff. So the motor nerve that controls muscles in the neck actually. So this nerve is actually what helps you as a human being be able to rotate, flex, sorry, I had a kink in my neck, rotate, flex, and extend both your shoulders, which gives you that little turtle thing, and your, I just did that backwards, neck and shoulders. You are able, this is the nerve that controls motor function in your neck and shoulders. Moving on, we have the hypoglossal nerve. So this nerve, I never knew that being able to control the muscle movements of your tongue was actually through a cranial nerve until today. So yes, the hypoglossal nerve is what is responsible for the movement of the muscles located in your tongue. You learn something new every day. Next, we have the trochlear nerve. The trochlear nerve, is what is used to control superior oblique muscles. Basically, it's responsible for your eyes being able to move upward, outward, and inward, which is weird, and I think it's what kind of like allows you to roll your eyes, but don't quote me. And lastly, we have the facial nerve. The facial nerve actually has both motory and sensory functions. What this means is this nerve is responsible for being able to move the muscles that allow you to show facial expression, so that's how you can tell when you're happy, when you're sad, and when you're mad. And also some jaw movements, which basically going down and up, and I don't know what else the jaw could do. It also provides a sense of taste to the tongue. There you go. That's how you can taste, which kind of begs the question of if the facial nerve is what is kind of suffered whenever someone experiences COVID. But that's not really the point here. Next, it also supplies both it basically supplies the water, that's the best way to put it, for the salivary glands, which what is basically spit in your mouth and then drool, and when it accidentally comes out when you're talking, and also the two ducts, so tear-producing glands in your eye that are activated when you cry. And lastly, it communicates sensations from the outer part of the ear. So sensations being, I guess, certain vibrations or frequencies that you sometimes will hear or experience, that is sent, or that whole thing is controlled by this one small nerve. The more you know.